is Ashley and I am a homeschooling mom of 4, and today's video is going to be a video that I hope doesn't offend anyone, but it's just been on my heart to put this video out there because when I was considering homeschool, I thought a lot of these things that I'm about to talk about. And so I would love if you are a homeschooler and you run into any of these issues, or maybe you just want to share this video so that someone else can hear it coming from another person. I will more than gladly be that person for you. So with that intro, this video sounds like it's going to be kind of interesting, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So I would just like to say before I get into today's video that I so appreciate all of my viewers and subscribers always keeping the comments on the videos positive and kind, and that's okay if you don't agree with me, but this is my channel, and so I'm going to share with you guys my thoughts on things. So let's get into it. So today's video is going to be on my personal opinion of the top 5 misconceptions about homeschooling that I think every homeschooler gets this feedback when you become a homeschooler. Now, homeschooling is becoming more popular, and there are an estimated, I think 2 or 3 million kids homeschooled across the United States, which is huge. So there's a definite movement in parents choosing to homeschool their kids, but that doesn't mean still it is not the norm. It's definitely not the norm in the city that I live in, and there are a lot of people that have these misconceptions. So with that being said, the number 1 most common homeschooling misconception that I think a lot of people feel is that when you choose to homeschool your kids, it means that you don't like teachers. And I just want to say that that is not true at all. The reasons why I chose to homeschool my children actually have nothing to do with teachers. Now, my kids in their short time in public school did have some amazing teachers, some really sweet ladies. They were awesome. With that being said, we also had a few that were not so awesome, but those were not the reasons why I chose to homeschool my kids. I chose to homeschool my kids for tons of reasons, and I've already kind of done a video on that, so I'm not going to go back into that. But to think that most homeschoolers don't like teachers, that is just not true at all. Number 2, and I know that I am not the only homeschooler who has probably heard this. It is kind of one of those words that makes you cringe as a homeschooler, and it is the misconception that your children are unsocialized or are missing out. Now, disclaimer, I'm sure there are some homeschoolers that you knew or that your friend knew that they were just a little bit different and they did not socialize their kids with other kids. I don't even like saying socialize because that's kind of like a weird word. To me, that's like what animals do. Like, you need to socialize your dog. It's not, it's just a weird word to me. But anyways, for the sake of keeping it simple, we'll call it socializing. So that is a huge misconception. My kids spend time with adults. They spend time with kids a variety of ages. They are not forced to have interactions with people that they are just their same age, and that's why they're forced into that. There are even some classes in public schools that have gone to all boy classes and all girl classes. Now, to me, that is not socializing your kids. Socializing, when I make a friend, I don't go up to them and say, hey, what's your age? I can only be friends with someone in their late 20s, early 30s, because, that's where I'm at in my life, and I can only be friends with you. And so with homeschooling, it affords my kids to interact with other homeschooling moms, kids of all different ages, kids of all different faiths. They interact with each other way more. We they enjoy their extracurricular activities way more because we're not so rushed and stressed out. And so to think that if your kids are homeschooled, they are going to be unsocialized or miss out on socializing with friends, that is simply not true at all. The third misconception that I think a lot of people have about homeschooling when you tell them you homeschool is that, well, how can you teach kids if you're not a teacher? So the misconception is that you have to be a teacher to be able to teach your kids. And that is not true as well. While I think that there are valuable things that you can learn when you pursue a college education, in, say, teaching elementary education, I don't think that that is the only way to be able to effectively teach a child how to handwrite and how to do math and how to act like a nice human being. So I think that a lot of moms who are maybe interested in homeschooling feel like not equipped to do it because they don't have a background in teaching. And I just want to let you know that I do not have a background in teaching myself, and I have successfully taught my children lots of things over the last 2 years of homeschooling. So be encouraged. You do not need to be a teacher. And that is not putting down anyone who's put in the effort to go to college and is a teacher. I'm not putting that down at all, but I'm just simply saying that the misconception of needing to be a teacher to teach your kids at home is a misconception. You don't need to do that. The fourth one that I think a lot of people might agree with me on, let me know in the comments below if you ever feel this way too, is that if you're a homeschooler, you think everyone else should homeschool. So I am a homeschooler and I'm passionate about homeschooling, and I love to talk about it with my friends who homeschool and also my friends who don't homeschool because it's a part of my life. But when I'm sharing my accomplishments or my joys or my struggles or whatever I'm talking about, I am not implying that I think that you need to do it too. Now, do I think that there is value in homeschool? Yes. Do I think that it has blessed my family greatly? Yes. Do I think it's made me a better mother? Yes. Do I think that my kids are learning more than they would in a public school setting at this point in their life? Yes. But I am not saying that everyone should homeschool. That's a choice that every mom will make for their own kids, and you as their mom know what's best, and that's that. This is what is best for my kids, and so there's a mutual respect that's there. So me homeschooling is not telling you that you should homeschool too. And my last homeschooling misconception that I think a ton of people think or believe about homeschooling moms is that you have to have the patience of a saint to homeschool. Literally, anytime I tell someone that I don't really know that well, who sees my kids out, oh, I homeschool, they're like, whew, I could have never done that with my kids. Oh man, my boys. And I get like their whole kids' life history. What about you guys? Do you get that too? And you're like, wow, I'm really sorry that you had such a hard time with your sons, but I didn't ask. And so I just think that when you say you homeschool, everyone thinks that you are like this angelic person. And I'm speaking for myself, but I am not a naturally patient person. God has helped me become more patient, and every day homeschooling my kids helps me become more patient. So there's definitely days where I'm struggling with patience, and I really just have to stop and I have to walk away. I have to take a break. I have to get a cup of coffee. I have to say, okay, go ahead and set that aside because we're not getting anywhere, and we'll pick it up later, you know? And so I feel like I have tools that have strengthened my patience, and homeschooling definitely has done that for me, but I am not a naturally patient person. I don't have some kind of supernatural gift of patience, and I don't think that every homeschooling mom is super patient either. So I just think that that's another huge misconception about homeschooling, is that if you're a homeschooling mom, you're like so patient, and I'm not patient. Are you a super patient mom? I want to know. I am more patient than I was, and I'm definitely not like, you know, freaking out on my kids, but you know, I work on it. It's like an active thing that I'm pursuing, is more and more patients. And when all of them start talking to me at one time, it's very easy for me to just lose my patience. So anyways, I just wanted to put this video out there because I think that these are some of the most common misconceptions about homeschooling. And I would love to open up a conversation with you guys in the comments below. Tell me what you think one of the most common misconceptions about homeschoolers are. We can laugh at this kind of as homeschoolers, but really, I think it's a great conversation to have, and I think that the more we talk about these things, the less that there will be these types of stereotypes and misconceptions around homeschooling, like so weird, you know, because it is becoming more popular. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.